Hey everybody, good morning. Hope that you are doing well. So today I want to do Patrick, and I was thinking about Patrick and what crossover I could potentially do, and I think that one of the obvious choices was Majin Buu. So Majin Buu. Let's just put fat. I think it would have been pretty easy to do a Majin Buu one, just because, like, you know, they have the same relatively close color, and they're both fairly big. So I think we could have gone away with doing something like this. But I was thinking, is there anything a little bit more challenging, something a little bit different? So I settled on Piccolo. So I want to see what we can do to turn Patrick into Piccolo here. So let's try to change the hue first. See if we can get him to be green. Let's see. I think that green looks good. All right, so we can start from here. Let me just grab a copy of this just in case we screw up. Let's merge these down and let's get started. I think that I've heard this, I don't know if it's true, but I hear that Piccolo is one of the favorite characters from the creator of Dragon Ball Z. If somebody can fact check that, that would be great, but that's what I heard. So let's see, where do we want to start? All right, so the first thing for us to consider is, do we do no hat or do we do a hat? And I think for these type of drawings, the more you can add, the better. So I'm thinking that I will add a hat on on Patrick, so we can start there. So and we can probably round him out a little bit just to help with that. So let's see. And this just pretty much follows the line of his head for the most part. So we can come in here, maybe do something like that. And let me see. That looks odd. So let's do another approach. Well, let's leave it and then let's just fill this in a bit. All right. Let's color it in. See how it looks. grab that purple. You know, I watched Spongebob growing up, but I was never like a crazy fan. So, you know, I'm almost thinking that instead of doing this, we just kind of pave our own path for this one. And we just erase this. And just make our own. I think that might be the better idea, because that looks weird, right? Like completely odd. So let's see if we can just get away with getting rid of a little bit of Patrick's, I don't know, head, I guess that's what you would call it. So he has this pretty low, so I'm thinking we can probably bring it down here. And let's see. And it's always tough to try to figure out what's too much and what's not enough, if that makes sense, when it comes to these. Because I'm trying to make sure that it still looks like Patrick, and then that it has the Piccolo qualities where you can tell, okay, he could be Piccolo here. So let's grab that gray and try again. Man, I'll tell you, man, I remember this Piccolo right here. That guy. Those are some good times, man. That was my childhood right there. And it's crazy how they've changed the characters with the times. Meaning like their look. I mean, obviously everyone is kind of buffer and everything like that. I don't know if anybody that's watching this was there when they did a time lapse, and I think that was the first time that I had ever, yeah, that looks good to me. That was the first time that I had ever seen a time lapse. And the first time lapse they did it with Goku, oh man, I was like, what? I was pretty stoked about it. Him coming back as a teen and everything like that, in the tournament. It was pretty cool. So let's see. Where do we go next here? So I think we can start with some of the clothing, and I think also let's do I think that we can do the cape. I think that would be good. So let's grab some of this and put some of the cape in here. It looks like it actually comes like all the way around here. So we're gonna have to, I don't think I'm gonna keep Patrick's hands up like that either. so we can get rid of them for now. And maybe let me figure out where the hands are gonna go, because that will help me. Oops. That will help me place where the cape and everything else will go. So for Patrick, and since he's Piccolo, then maybe we want to have his hands crossed like Piccolo has him here. I think that would be cool. So let's see, we can have him shrug his shoulders a bit, and then we're going to want to come down here and bring him up. I want to leave enough room for the cape, but also the rest of his body, so it's going to be tough. Bring him down here. Alright, let's see how that looks. So let's just overshoot that over like that for now. Well, here, okay, so that's good there. Let's see, the other shoulder would be up here too, and then that would come down and it would go over, and then this would be here, but then his hands would, let's see, his hands would come here. Let's get rid of some of this. And we could probably put the other hand coming up here. Let me see. How does that look? No, so if his here is folded here, we'll probably that looks good. And then let's see. It looks kind of goofy right now. And then I guess we could have the rest of the chest coming in like that. Alright, let's leave it like that for now. Maybe square this off a bit. Okay, so we can continue on with the cape now. So now that I'm thinking about it, we probably want to bring this up a bit. So if it's here, then we can bring it up. Maybe not all the way up like that, but bring that there, and on this side too. So I think we're gonna have to move that smile a bit. Put it a little bit above from Patrick. Yeah, that looks good. So now because of this, we're going to have to fill in the arm here. So bring this down. Well, I forgot about the shoulder pads, so let's draw some of that in. And I do want to get that in there. It's a little bit tough because everything is like shrunk down into just that little area. So I think I'm gonna try to imitate a little bit more of this one when it comes to the shoulder pads, so we can come up a bit. And bring them down like this. Same for this side. So let's see. In this case, everything is converging here, so we can wrap this here and just go up like that. And for this side, he does have some wrinkles, so maybe we just do this. Okay, that looks good for now. And then the cape comes down to the shoulder, and then we see it kind of drape. So we can do this and then bring it down a bit like that. Yeah, that looks good for now. And we can continue on drawing the cape later, so we'll do that. And then here, let's see, what do we have? Cape going, bring it in here, and that should be good, I think. Okay, that looks good. Thinking about it, I should have done all this on top of that layer, because I think it would have just look it would have been easier to fill in with color. I don't know, let me see. Let's grab that gray again and start filling some of this in. Yeah. Alright, well, going to have to do it the tough way, unless, you know what I could do is select out the black lines and then we can inverse, and then hopefully now I can color in without having to worry too much about black lines. Yes. Yep. That looks good. So all this is getting filled in by the gray. I'm so glad I thought about that, because coloring this in would have taken quite a long time if we were trying to be mindful of those lines. coming along, I think. It's always tough at first, trying to figure out what is going to work and what may not. Yeah, that looks good to me. You know what we should do is bring in like some type of color just so we can see what's not colored in. Yeah. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Alright. So let's go ahead and merge these for now. And I can go over the lines in a little bit. Alright, so we have some of the cape going. Let's see. Now the question is, what do we do with the rest of Patrick's body? I mean, I think that we can just bring it down. Let me see, shoulder is here. We can bring this down a bit for now. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Should we do the pants next? Yeah, do the pants and then we can do the shoes too. So let's do the belt. I'm almost wondering if I should leave him without a shirt to just leave it be a little bit more Patrick. I don't know. Let's start with the belt. Let's worry about that later. So we come in here. We can bring this down. Actually, I'm gonna do this on a separate layer, so I can just color it in. So we'll bring this down here. Looks good. Do a layer underneath. Set the. Well, let's just remove that. Oh, that won't work. Alright, that we can do that now and just fill it in. Cool. Now let's do some of these right here so we can Alright, that looks good. For the pants, bring the opacity down a bit. Could do something like this. Let's see how this will look. I don't know. I think I may need to bring this up a bit. Maybe. Let's see. I think that looks good. And can have some of these lines. Then we'll also have to give him some shoes. But I think that for these we can just do this. Or maybe we don't give him shoes. Let's see how this looks first. Okay. So let's just fill this in. Wrong layer. That looks good. That's coming along. Let's see. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. Okay. So I'm thinking that we do leave him without a shirt. I think that would be cool. So let's just try that for now, I guess. And maybe without shoes too. I think that these shoes just look weird. Yeah. Alright. Yep, that looks good. So let's see. We should add the ears because if he's gonna be Piccolo, he needs the ears. And the other you can come in there. Up. Fill that in. You know, I'm thinking, let me see, can we get the skin color a little bit darker? I think it may be a level correction. It's a little bit better. All right, so the ears. Let's get these in. I think that's good. Now we also gotta get rid of the happy face. Piccolo is pretty serious for most of the time, so we're going to want to come in here and put some of this in. He looks kind of evil right now. All right. The background in. I don't clean all this up, but we can at least get a good bulk of it there. Okay, so there's that. Maybe bring this down a bit like that. Now for the smile, we're gonna have to get rid of this. And we can come up and then maybe do that. Yeah, that looks good. And yeah, it looks pretty good. It's starting to come along, I think. All right, so we have that. Have the hair. I think we could probably bring this down a bit more. All right, so I think we're almost there. We should do the cape. So let's see. So the cape comes from here, and then it does one of these. Jeez, how do they? Bring this out here. Yeah, that looks good. See, this here though is off because this comes here and then it should more or less follow this line down. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, so let's just fill this in a bit, get this going. I like how some of the belly button is out, so we can just leave some of that. All right, so for his body, we can take into account, you know what's interesting, that here his are yellow and then here they're like a pink, and I mean it makes sense why they changed it. Red and green are more complementary. So we can start putting in some of that. So we can do that here. His biceps would be here, so we can do that here. This one it's tough because everything is very shrunk down. I can put that there, and let's see. He has him here. Where else? I think that's it. All right. Let's try to color some of this in with the pink. How much time? Man, we have 40 minutes on this. You know, I don't think people understand how long some things take. Just in general when it comes to drawing and things like that. And you know, I haven't done too many commissions or anything like that, but the few people that have approached me about doing work for them just don't really understand how labor intensive drawing can be, because all they see is a finished product, right? But they don't see not only what you have to put in when it comes to the actual drawing, but the thought that goes behind that as well. Because I mean, a good portion of this is not just drawing the lines, right? Is us going in and trying to figure out what works, what doesn't work. Sometimes, you know, you spend a lot of time in one drawing, and then when you're looking at it, it just doesn't look quite right. So you scrap it and you start again. So there are a lot of things like that that people don't necessarily think about or see. You know, the other thing is that his hands are getting kind of lost. So I am thinking that we should put the shirt in. So I think that we can just come down here, bring it down a bit, and then just we can add a shirt just like that. And then we can take the purple and just fill that in. And that looks pretty good. Sorry, belly button. The belly button's gone. And then we can add a line in here, and maybe one there. Come back, take a little bit of the green. We can solidify this line. So let's see. Did we miss anything? And does it still look like Patrick? That's the real question. I think so. To an extent. He does have some little dots that he has like on his hands. Does Patrick have any on his face? No, I don't think so. You know what we could do though, now that I'm thinking about it, to maybe bring in a little bit more Patrick, is add some of those flower things that he has. So let's see. You guys can tell me if this is a good idea or not. We can add one here. Just to give him more of that like Hawaiian look, I want to say. But let me pick another color. Let me pick the black. So like I'm thinking, you know how he has those things on his pants? So maybe we add some of those. Let's see how it looks. maybe. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. But for now, I think I'll leave it out. Leave it like that. Leave the eyes. Trying to think. Alright, so this is Patrick. Let me just get rid of some of these references here. Yeah, I think it does. I think it does look like him. Maybe without the ears. What do you guys think? With ears or without? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. But I think that the ears in this case might be a little much. Tough one. Alright, I think this video is long enough. I think that I'm gonna go with I think I'm gonna go without the ears. I'm gonna do that. I think that's good. You can always just do two versions. Have you guys compare. Let me know what you think. Alright, well, this is it. We have Patrick and Piccolo. Patrick and Piccolo, what would that name be? Patriccolo? I'm gonna go with Patriccolo for now. Alright, man, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Let me know what you think. I struggled a little bit. Let me know what you think I should change with this one. And maybe I'll just put out a different version based on what you guys comment. Alright, well, take care and see you guys next time. Bye.